You guys, welcome to the review. We are finally here. Skate America 2023, and we are in the Grand Prix season. So it just started last weekend in Allen, Texas with Skate America. And this weekend that we're currently in, we're having Skate Canada in, where is it at? I believe it is in Vancouver. So this is very, very exciting. The skating season is finally here, and we have a lot to look forward to. If you don't know me already, my name is Kelly Commentates, and I've been around for a bit, but I did take a little break and didn't really commentate much at all over the past 3 years. And finally, you know what? I just got fed up with not having the kind of commentary that I really wanted. So I thought, hey, if I can't have it, I'm going to go ahead and make it. So I am going to try to make a recap of every competition in the Grand Prix series, ending with the Grand Prix final in December. If you like these type of videos, please let me know. If there's a different format that you would like, let me know that too. I really do want to be a voice for the common skating, figure skating fan that can just make videos that are entertaining and give us a recap. So the first discipline I'm going to talk about is the men. You can see here in first place, we have Ilya Malinin from the USA. He came here with a personal best total score and personal best free skate. His total score was 310.47, which is astronomical. I was trying to think back if Yuzuru Hanyu or Nathan Chen had ever surpassed 310. I really do think they both have, but Ilya Malinin is very early in his career, and so to get a score that high really makes a statement, I feel. The judges are just basically saying, this is the moment, he is it, and I really do see him as a successor to Nathan Crown's throne. Um, I could see him having the same trajectory if he stays healthy, where he basically becomes unbeatable, at least at the world's level, until the next Olympics. Of course, we shall see, and you never want to speak too early, nor do we want him to have injuries or anything like that. So it will be very interesting to see what he does. I felt like his artistic merits were lacking a bit. I didn't really just, I don't think that he really fed us in the audience as best as he could. And I almost thought he was thinking a lot about his program. I would like to see him lose that rational side, and really give in to the artistry of the program. Now, in second place, someone who gave in fully to his artistry was Kevin Amaz from France, and he had a season best score of 279.09. So Ilya beat him by over 40 points, which, is no small feat at all. Um, Now, when I found out he was doing Bolero, which is his free skate, and that's the costume in the picture you see, it's kind of like a very deep v neck, open concept with kind of like an ombre effect into gloves, bright red gloves. When I saw him warming up, I was not impressed or excited. I was like, okay, Bolero is been there, done that. I feel like we've seen so many over the years, but honestly, he was the standout moment of the competition. I felt like he really played into the judges, and I'm going to show you an example of that next. In third place, we have Shun Sato with 247.50. In fourth place was Nika Egadze from Georgia, and we saw Miss Iteri Tutberidze herself flying in to Allen, Texas, little old Allen, Texas, to be his sit down coach. And she sat with him in the kiss and cry. At one point, there were boos, which was pretty outlandish, I would say. And I think those boos were the fact that he overcame fifth place finisher Vladimir Litvintsev from Azerbaijan, who I felt like had a really standout moment in the free skate. He had on, if I'm thinking of the correct person, I believe I am. He had on a almost like a soldier outfit. He was almost like playing like a toy soldier, and it was very, very entertaining. But Nika Edgatse from Georgia, a Terry student, beat him by 0.01. And just sometimes, you guys, you have to think, are the judges playing with us? Like, is this a joke? Like, he had to get fourth place. I don't know. It just seems funny. Overall, I thought the men were pretty good. I feel like the Japanese men struggled quite a bit. Like the other two Japanese men got sixth and eighth. Sixth was Nozomu Yoshioka, and eighth place was Tatsuya Tsupoi. They both had, not huge scores, and in between them at seventh place was Andrew Torgashev from the US, and he just scored 219.67. Now, this is a moment that I felt was really noteworthy from the men's competition. This is Kevin Amos in the free skate. Look at that choreographic slide. Look at that kick movement, like jumping up. Like he is serving. He does a standing aerial, like a cartwheel, and then bam. So he ends his program throwing his arms up at the judges. I just found this, I got chills, honestly. I very rarely these days, I feel like a lot of men's programs are really just quad machine, quad after quad, at least attempt. I feel like a lot of people don't even hit the quads. But this was really giving into the artistry. I feel like he ended with more energy and stamina than he began with. And really, despite whatever you think about Kevin Amos, there is controversy with him that I was reading about online about his coaches and some alleged, some allegations against them. Whatever you think about all that, you really have to say that he gave the performance of the night, in my opinion. We're going to talk about pairs. This is a discipline I don't follow too much. So, it's I love pairs. I feel like they do such difficult things, but I feel like since Alexa Kaniram and Brandon Fraser left, I just feel like there's a bit of a gap, and I think these other teams are starting to rise up and kind of fill the gap that's been lost, um, with Alexa and Brandon's departure. So in first place, we had Haka and Kunkel from Deutschland, from Germany, and they gave a beautiful performance. I felt like they were very strong, and it was fun to watch. In second place, you have Pereira and Michaud from Canada, and in third place, you have Liu and Nagi from the United States. And I gotta say, I really, really enjoyed Liu and Nagi. I believe she had actually used to dance with um, Danny O'Shea, and for whatever reason, their partnership broke up. And this is a newer team. I believe they started last year. So to see them just kind of make a mark, it was really cool to see Brandon Fraser, former pair skater himself, in the Kiss and Cry with them. I just honestly thought they had a standout performance, just because I was so surprised that the U.S. has another pairs team that, they're on the up and up. They have a long way to go. They scored 177.66, but they were only about 8 points off from the top teams. So that's not that much. That's some creative execution. That's a jump or two. They really are making themselves a name. And so for me, they were the moment. Now, I couldn't find a video from the competition. Peacock had already taken them all down. You get to watch them for like 2 days and that's it, which is just crazy. I could go on a whole nother rant about, the popularity of figure skating and how it's, honestly, I feel like the ISU and Peacock and NBC are gatekeeping, to use that term that's popping up everywhere. I feel like they gatekeep the popularity of the sport, and it's unfair. So this is from a summer competition this year. I just think, especially her. Well, first of all, I feel like they're evenly matched. Obviously, her and Danny, something didn't flow for them to break up, because Danny's still skating. He has a new partner as well. But I just feel like they're very equally matched. But especially her, I just find her striking. Like, she reminds me of a little Alexa Kaniram. And I don't want to get ahead of myself because, um, we know so many things can happen, but I just think she's very athletic. She seems very calm, and I just love their energy on the ice. So for me, Liu and Nagi, I'm very excited to see what they do next. Now I'll talk about ice dance, one of the most dramatic and, you know, open to interpretation of the four disciplines. Just because dance, there are fewer even though it is very art, very athletic, of course, I feel like it's so much more close and more based on reputation above other things. So in first place, of course, our world champions, Chalk and Bates. Need I say more? They had a season's best. I believe this is their first competition, so of course it's a season's best of 212.96. And wow, like just awesome. I feel like they're better than last year. I didn't think I could like the fire and air the fire and air program from last year. I didn't think I could like something more than that, but I actually think this program about time was just amazing. Like a total slay. Her costume reminds me of Alice in Wonderland with the clock and kind of the I would call it whimsical effect. I didn't enjoy it. It looked crunchy, and that's such a small thing. I know she'll change her hair throughout the season. I think she usually does. And it was cool to see Evan's hair curly again. I feel like it's been like straight and short for a while. But anyway, just a really good program, very fun. In second place, you had La Joie and Laga from Canada. Also, a very nice team. I love their costumes. I thought they were one of the most beautiful. With her like pink, it almost had like a little bit of a protruding effect from the bustle, and then his kind of teal green color shirt. I just thought they were beautiful. Very well done. And in third place, very surprised. I hadn't heard of this team, Loporeva and Brissard from France, and they came in with a score of 193.47. To me, they were almost, the standout moment as well. I really loved them, especially her with her short red hair. I loved their like ice blue costumes. They were serving the drama, and I really hope that they make it, further. And in fourth place, close to my heart, is Green and Parsons. Really love this team. I know people were saying, so they recently changed their short program. It's yet to be seen if that was something that is going to pay off for them. They did better than Una Brown and Gage Brown from the US, who got 177.21 in seventh place. Green and Parsons had 185.07. Now, I really am hoping they're going to break up into that 190, 200 range eventually. I just think Caroline Green is such an amazing skater, and Michael Parsons is the perfect complement to her. In fifth and sixth, you had Tashlerova and Tashler, and I believe they're from Czech. And in sixth place, Smart and Deek from España. It was very nice to see Olivia Smart back with a new partner, and they had a personal best score of 180.67. Now, this was noteworthy. We have to talk about that beginning pose. It's what is it called? Planking pose, where she's laying on his knees and you see the arms of the clock. I felt like right away it was very angular. It gives that long line, and okay, they're like she's like a droopy clock. She reminds me of um, that painting, that famous painting with the drooping clocks in the desert. Like that's her, and he's kind of like the mechanical part of the clock, keeping her together. So just very fun. I feel like that pose was one to note. And last but not least, I'm going to talk about the women. In first place with an astronomical score, I believe it was her personal best, Luna Hendricks. And she ended up scoring 221.28. Isabel Levito from the US. And by the way, Luna Hendricks is from Belgium. In second place, Isabel Levito from the US. She ended up scoring 208.15. And in third place, with another personal best from Estonia, Nina Petrokina. And she got a personal best of 194.55. In fourth place with the pewter is Hana Yoshida from Japan. And rounding out the top five, in fifth place, Amber Glenn. Ah, what a heartbreak. She had a season's best score of 189.63. She really was en route to medal here with that short program, which was a personal best of 71.45. But girl just could not put it together. Amber Glenn could not put it together, but we'll talk about her in a minute. Now, Luna, I really liked her free skate. I have to say, I wasn't excited about a Beyonce program. At this point, it makes me yawn, I'll be honest. Like, I love Beyonce, great music, but I don't know. In figure skating, I don't really. enjoy it that much, but she really brought a flair. I feel like she sold it. Like she convinced me. You know, the costume was a bit of a I noticed that the costumes this year, there's a lot of sparkles in one section of the costume. It's like overdone in one particular area, but it's not spread out. And I've seen that in a few costumes. Um, and so, yeah, I just was like, okay. But I feel like she really sold it. She convinced me. By the end, I was like, okay, this is the winning program for sure. In second place, Isabeau Levito. Now she did get a season's best of 208.15. I feel like with her very, very, very best skating, she's not going to be able to break 210. And I think it's due to her jumps. I just think that, like, obviously her artistry and she really puts together a perfect program. I really, she's so talented. You can't deny it. But I have to say, for me personally, there's just something lacking. Um, I don't know if it's the jumps or like a lot of people online talk about the way she hunches over when she skates. And I don't even mind that so much. Like, I don't notice it too badly. But I just think there's, okay, this is what it is. We were honest here, okay? Kelly commentates, it's commentating. She just bores me, and that's all it is. I just find her boring. But I love her. I'm glad she works. She skates for the U.S. Just boring, in my opinion. Third place, Nina Petrokina, and in fourth place, Hannah Yoshida. I'm gonna go ahead and go over a memorable moment that I think was noteworthy. Obviously, that triple axel in Amber Glen's free skate, like gorgeous. I really do think one of my favorite tricks, triple axels. She went into it like killing it confidently. I didn't feel any doubt in her eyes at all. She knew she would make it, and I'm so proud that she kept going, didn't give up on the triple axel, and now I'm hoping it'll just be in her arsenal. Now, the rest of the program was a mess. It was a bit of a miss. She still got fifth place, but really she set herself up to medal and then just couldn't make it happen. And I have no idea. We would need to start a prayer circle to figure out how Ember Glenn can ever get over her inconsistencies. I really don't know how it's going to happen. In conclusion, honestly, Skate America was kind of a serve. Like it was a sleigh. I feel like the men were a bit messy. I want to see some better skating from the Japanese women. Um, Jiang Yi An in the left bottom corner in the ladies. I forgot to mention. I was shocked by how low her scores were. The whole time I was watching, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's gonna have an astronomical score, and she scored low. She scored almost 60 in the short program and just 105.66 in the long. But man, I found her so entertaining, just like very very expressive, and I thought her jumps were really strong. She must have had a bunch of under rotations because she didn't really fall, to my recollection. Now the dress you see her wearing there, it was the tightest, shortest dress I've ever seen in skating. It rode up a lot and was a little weird, but I do think it went with the program. And yeah, another standout star. I really enjoyed her. But overall, I think Scared America started it off well. I was surprised that Allen, Texas, like I mean, the arena was full. I felt like the audience was very appreciative. They were cheering. Of course, especially for a lot of people who skate on home ice, like Amber Glenn was. I just think Allen, Texas, like put it together. Was shocked. Did not think that I would enjoy it this much, and I'm super excited for the rest of the season. If you like this, please comment. Let me know. I have no idea. I might just be making these videos for myself, and if so, that's okay too. Have a great day, guys. This was Kelly Commentates.